Of Endeavor this morning, slightly lower, really kind of, let's call it sort of even. This following the company's first quarter earnings, which were boosted by strength and demand for events and its own sports properties. Of course, that does include the UFC and professional bull riders. Don't forget them. Endeavor also announcing a stock buyback, issued its first quarterly dividend. And joining me now in a CNBC exclusive is Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel. It's good to have you here.
Hey, David. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Are you good? Are you feeling good about where the company is? You've got a lot of different things going on, obviously.
Yep.
Chief amongst them, the WWE deal, which we'll talk about. How was the quarter?
Quarter, I thought, was incredible. We decided to do a stock buyback, a dividend.
Yeah, why'd you decide to do a stock buyback?
Well, we just sold the IMG Academy for $1.25 billion. About 16 months before that, we sold Endeavor Content for $1 billion. We have a lot of financial flexibility. And it kind of talks to the value of the assets inside Endeavor, outside of the UFC, which everybody mainly focuses on. Actually, the funny thing is $1.25 billion for the Academy was greater than half of all of the acquisition of IMG. Crazy. And so I think people thought of us as empire builders, and we wanted to show to people we've been focused on debt reduction. We think the price on an event-driven business was low, so we wanted to buy some stock back. And for the first time, we have flexibility in our economics, so we thought a dividend was right, plus a little bit additional pay down of some debt.
Yeah, you're right when you say that everybody wants to focus on UFC and WWE. But what also I hear from investors is they'd rather buy WWE to create TKO than buy Endeavor.
Well, hopefully with this sale of the Academy, the sale of Endeavor Content, two things that sold for $1 billion in Endeavor Content, IMG Academy for $1.25 billion, people realize, wait a second, there's really great assets inside remaining assets at Endeavor, which I think there are, of course, as the CEO. And yes, there's unbelievable value in the pure play of sports and sports and entertainment eventually with UFC and WWE.
Which will be TKO.
TKO, correct.
The great symbol.
Yeah.
But all right, so how do you then sort of delineate for investors, buy my stock instead of TKO?
That's a short-term problem. Though once the companies kind of separate and we have the pure play and we have the rest, I think that will even itself out.
Well, you'll still be controlling. You'll still be controlling TK. You'll still be the CEO.
Correct. I'll be the CEO of both. Mark Shapiro will be the president of both. We'll consolidate into Endeavor. I think people will figure out where they want to put their money. But at Endeavor, between content, events, betting, I think there's unbelievable assets there. Hopefully, this proves these two sales, which people weren't really giving us a lot of value for, proves that there's value still remaining at Endeavor.
Right. And I'm sure you'll have no problem dealing with both Dana White and Vince McMahon.
Actually, I've represented UFC before we bought it for over 20 years, and the same thing's true with Vince.
So you really don't think you're going to encounter any issues?
No,
so to speak?
We have a good relationship.
We're going to let them do what they want to do? Exactly.
And we do what we do as it relates to saving some costs, driving some revenue with sponsorship, international sales like we did at UFC. We're going to do 2.0 at WWE.
Well, actually, specific to TKO and WWE, what about sports rights there? I mean, and enhancing your ability to negotiate for the upcoming renewals.
Right now, we're focused on saving some costs, doing sponsorship, which they didn't have. This is the same formula we used at UFC in international rights. Their rights are open now. We're in a year and a half from now. I think they're on separate time frames, so that
they are.
Yes.
So right. So it's WWE first, then UFC.
Yeah.
And then you move on
from
there.
Yeah.
Did you guys move out your expectation of close there? Because I think in the original, when you announced the deal, it seemed like it would only be a number of months, but you sort of seem to be pushing it back.
We're waiting on DOJ. We're not pushing it back.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just waiting now.
All right, let's talk about the writer's strike if we can. I want to get your take on that. First of all, what is it going to mean for your firm if this thing goes on for a long period of time?
Well, we support the writers. I would say we haven't changed our guidance right now for the end of the year. All of that's depending on duration. There's a lot of big issues, but duration is one of the big issues. Between, royalties slash, for the writers, size of room, AI, There's a lot of big issues in there. The complication is you have 3 streamers, Netflix, Apple, Amazon, and then you have traditional guys that are in the streaming business. So there's a lot of moving pieces. I'm not sure it's going that long, only because the directors are going to drive a hard bargain. Their window is open to start negotiating now.
Okay.
2 is, if you think about, if you just look at Netflix, they actually at the beginning, 2007, 2008, actually gave a lot more information on their user base and viewership, et cetera. And when they're now all moving to a ad-supported model also, the advertisers are going to want more information. It shouldn't be a hard leap to give it to the writers. It's the fair thing to do. I'm not sure why they're holding it up, but writer size, AI, a bunch of other issues are important.
But do you say that it's sort of a different negotiation given the presence of these direct-to-consumer platforms, pure play and/or the ones that are hybrid, producing content for others, but also for their own services?
I think you're going to need a strong, on the buy side, meaning the Disneys and the Netflix, a strong person like an Iger to get in there who has both perspectives, been seen a lot of strikes like I have, to figure out a resolution here. And I think we'll get to it.
And what about AI in terms of its ability to start writing scripts?
I'm not worried about that.
You're not? Why not?
Because if they're writing scripts, first of all, I don't think you can recreate a Larry David or a Seth MacFarlane. I'm saying my clients, or a Jim Brooks or Adam. I don't think that's that easy. And they deserve to be paid if somebody is replicating their business. If it's coming from an original point of view without a writer involved, I don't think the script is actually going to be to the quality and the standard that it needs to be for an audience.
And you seem, what I'm hearing is you seem somewhat optimistic that this could actually get resolved in the short term.
I think you're going to have, a very tough negotiation with the directors, but I think you're going to get to a resolution. They're going to have to give data to advertisers with their AVOD models, and so I think they've done it before, and I think we'll get to a place.
Finally, you're close to Elon Musk, at least.
Yes.
And I'm curious your views. Tucker Carlson comes out and says he's going to do a show on Twitter. Mm-hmm. It's unclear whether that's going to happen. Musk came out and said we haven't signed anything. Mm-hmm. Do you think that platform could become something for shows like that and/or others?
I think he's now. You can DM person to person. He just came out with that information. I think you can make phone calls. So he's kind of replicating now the WhatsApp models, et cetera. And I wouldn't put anything past him as it relates to video. I think one of his big issues, and he'll come out and say it, is he doesn't want everybody to come to the platform and then go over to YouTube and make money on YouTube. He wants them making money on platform. If that's the case, then I think he's got to permit video and the ability to monetize on platform. I wouldn't put anything by him. I think he's a pretty competitive person.
Yeah, as are you, Mr. Emanuel. We'll certainly appreciate you taking a little time. Thank you.
God bless. Thanks.
Ari Emanuel from Endeavor. Carl, back
Stay
over to
healthy.
you. I will try.
David.